Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna be making a tier list for Dragon Ball Legend. Goku got released, Tree of Mind Goku. I delayed the tier list a bit because I thought we might get an ultra unique platinum equipment, but it did not happen. We only got the Bardock Zenkai, which is a bit sad as this celebration has been one of the, if not the most first celebration in Legends. Even like it pretty much competes with the Dragon Ball celebration. Next week, if they do not release an ultra, don't have much hope from this celebration. So yeah, let's dive into it. And as you can see, these are the honorable mentions. I don't think I'm forgetting any other character, which can be put into honorable mentions. 1% sparking wise or LF wise. No, I think we're good. If you want to put him, you can put him. Otherwise, I don't think he's meta element enough. Like he does his job well enough. Okay, but first let's start. We'll go with Baby. Where would I put Baby? I think I'll put Baby at 6 or 7. We can change it. I don't think I need to tell you much about Baby. His gauge is very good. If his gauge gets filled, he'll destroy 2 of your cards and the first 2 times reduces a vanish gauge to 0, gets a blue card, and the blue card also nullifies endurance if his gauge is full. And if his gauge is also full, if you pop his ultimate, you'll get locked in. He also restores his vanish on the ultimate. He is one of the better counters to UG4, but at the moment there is no counter to UG4 like Tree of Might Goku. This character got released. He is a hindrance, but he is not a unit who will say, oh, I have Goku. UG4 is not doing anything against me. He is not that good enough. Okay, next is Kid Buu. Kid Buu is number 5 for me. Kid Buu is annoying. Like, whenever he gets a lot of green cards, which when combined with his teams, which is Majin Buu Saga, either he is paired up with Evil Buu or Ultimate Gohan. Annoying. Like the amount of times I've lost my cool when I'm facing Ultimate Gohan, Evil Buu, and Kid Buu, like it pisses me off. Like Evil Buu at the moment, along with Kid Buu, Evil Buu is a 1% sparking who is better than a lot of Legend Limited characters which were released. Like he is annoying, and Kid Buu, like his ultimate hits hard. When he vanishes, he goes tight for 3 time accounts. He gets cover null for 3 time accounts on his blast. Obviously, it's not a lot, but thank God it's not a lot. Otherwise, he would have been, I think, for me better than Super Vegito. But he is not at the moment better than Super Vegito. I know a lot of people have said it, but for me personally, no. Like he's very good. I think the only thing he lacks is like which have put him on 5 and not at top 4 or something is because if anybody uses a rush, ultimate or anything against him, he cannot nullify endurance and stuff. Like a lot of times when I'm facing Majin Buu Saga teams, if I pop the main with UG4 against him, the opponent loses a character. It doesn't matter whether it's Evil Buu, Kid Buu or Ultimate Gohan. Which is why I think as good as he is, that is the only thing. And the no cover null on green card, keeping him from not being in top 4. Otherwise, he's very good. Super Vegito. Super Vegito is also top 4. I think I'll put him. Wait, we'll go to Super Vegito later on. We'll start with the lower ranking ones. I'll put CMZ at 10. A lot of people have started using yellow units. Like, I don't think I need to tell you how many yellow units are there. Like, let's be honest. We have Tree of Might Goku, Baby, we have Rage Shenron. Like, everybody's fusing Gogeta Blue, even though we don't see fusing Gogeta Blue a lot, but he's still there. Like to stop UG4, a lot of people are using yellow characters. CMZ against Saiyans absolutely cooks. He hit so hard against Saiyans. He was out of the top 10 for me, I think, before Goku dropped. But after Goku dropped, he is in top 10 because, well, against Saiyan, CMZ is the perfect unit to use. His strikes do a lot of damage. If he pops a green card, he locks you in for 3 times. Not locks you in, increases your sub count by 3. His ultimate hits hard. If you pop his main, you gain nullify endurance effects. Not on ultimate, but on main, which is very good as you can use a strike and blast to kill the opponent. So yeah, he's at 10. But yeah, he is a Zenkai which doesn't have a lot of good teams, as you can see, which is why he's at 10. Otherwise, he's still a very good Zenkai. He is a bit squishy, like I said, just like Kid Buu, he can also die from the one-hit moves, which is a bit of a hindrance, and no combo stopping potential apart from the -5 key reduction, but it's honestly, I don't really feel it that much. 9. For 9, I'll put Super 17. Like, this guy has seen such a resurgence, honestly. So many yellows, and honestly, I've used him, and I don't. He has soloed matches for me. Like, you could even see in my God rank grind videos. This character still has ability to solo. Like, if the opponent even switches once, the match goes out of their hand. His green card's still very toxic. People for some reason have forgotten how toxic his green card is, and they'll do a tap blast from far away. Boom, they're dead. I've seen so many users use Ultimate Gohan's blue card against him. Why would you do like, his green card absorbs Ultimate Gohan's blue card. Omega Shenron's blue, Rush, green, like, whew. Like, Tree of Might Goku, they have so many users who are using his green card against him, and he just uses the green, and boom, they're dead. Yeah, if you use him correctly, honestly, he can even jump to 8 or 7 depending on the matchup. Like, he's that good. His ultimate AoE damage does so much damage. I think you all know his gauge. He fills the gauge instantly once he enters. He draws blast like it's, I don't know. Like Vegeta said, Super Saiyan bargain sale. This is blast cards bargain sale. Like, yeah, he's toxic. He's still toxic. His tap attacks to seal your strikes and blue, like, yeah, he's still dumb. Now at 8. At 8, I'll put, who should I put it in? At 8, I'll put Tree of Might Goku. Like, I know I just said the red units counter him, but at the moment he's on boost, which is why I'm putting him at 8. Off boost, I can see him go out of top, depending on the meta. You know, it really depends on the meta. Like, at the moment, he counters Ultimate Gohan and UG4's Ultimate, but based on my experience, and I'm almost in God rank this season 2, the main problem with him is Omega Shenron has 2 ultimates, which means I can just throw one ultimate for fun, get rid of his cancel buff effects, and boom, UG4 is free again. His best team is bad. Like, his best team is Goku, Gohan, Ultimate Gohan with the Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Technically, his best setups and family wise, Triple Z ability, which are defensive, which is not good. They don't do a lot of damage in that setup. If you go for other setups, they're just not as good. So he really gets trashed. He really needs a second good unit which has offensive Z abilities. I use the UG4's ultimate against a 7-star Tree of Might. My UG4's 8-star, by the way. He cancelled my buff effects. 70% of his health was still gone away, like push. Like, then what's the point of this unit? He still has certain really good counters to UG4. Like, the first 2 times you either proc UG4's gauge or UG4 uses his green card. But the first 2 times you get locked in with Goku, he will seal UG4's ultimate, rush, and his key to 0. But if the UG4 player has popped the main, it won't work as well as you think, because he will just pop the main, he gets key reduction of nullification effect, he gets card destruction nullification effect, so you can't do anything against him. Key protect, card protect, and he ults you and you die. So he is, just like I said, a hindrance, not a counter. A very weird choice by Legends also too. Like, Goku in a Tree of Might movie celebration, like, sure, whatever, with no Turles, but his squad is there. Okay, sure. But I can see him go up or down depending on what color the next units will be and how the meta shifts. Yeah. Now at 7, like I said, there is a unit which I believe is better than LF's, and that is the 1% Sparking Evil Boo. Like, my god. This unit is annoying. Like, let's say you're comboing with UG4, any other character, you switch to him. He raises your arts cost, he kills your key, he kills your card. You might wonder, okay, I'll use a green with UG4, get a few cards. If you get his health to below 50%, your key is gone again. You lose a Dragon Ball. Like, he's such an annoying character. He cancels your buff effects on ultimates and stuff. Like, honestly, Legends team said Majin Buu Saga needs to be the best team, and the celebration, at the end of the celebration, boom. Evil Buu, Ultimate Gohan, Kid Buu Zenkai, Super Vegito, Supreme Kai, and you can put whatever third unit you want, which could be the UG4 Ultra. Boom, best setup in the game. Like, oh, it's so annoying, Evil Buu. Like, honestly, his ultimate also destroys 2 Dragon Balls. Like, honestly, I don't understand why why other teams have not got a 1% at this level, which is so weird. Like, he's very good. Like, this is the best 1% sparking in a few years, I believe. Like, I think if I have to put into mention, the last 1% sparking who I'd say was as good would be the Blue Zamasu, I believe. The one which released on Legends Fest 2022 with the Trunks and Vegeta. He was clearly one of the highlights of the celebration due to how good he is. Same with Evil Boo. 1% sparking, everybody has him at high stars. He tanks so many hits. Like, I've seen him tank ultimates from characters, rush from characters where genuinely he did not have the right to do it. So yeah, he's at number 7 obviously. I've already talked about Baby and Kid Buu. At number 4 is Vegito. Yeah. For me, Vegito has gone down a bit. Why? Because his main selling point is his guaranteed rush, which also nullifies endurance if you cannot cancel his buff effects. That is the dumbest mechanic ever. Like, Rising Rush on its own is a toxic mechanic. Legend said, well, let's do it. A confirmed kill on a unit. Why would you do that? On top of that, let's make it nullify endurance. What do you want me to do over that, man? Like, if he's Vegito and you're with any unit which cannot cancel buff effects, you're losing a unit. It's guaranteed. If you switch out to Evil Boo, let's say, you're losing him. If you switch out to Ultimate Gohan, you're losing him because you cannot cancel his buff effects on standby. Which is why he's still so toxic. But there is a very good counter to him, which will be the next unit in the tier list, you'll see. Which really does hinder him, which is the one and only Omega Shenron. Like, this guy is such a sleeper unit. I've seen people say, oh, he's overrated, oh, he's underrated, blah blah blah. He's not overrated. Like, okay, if you wanted to, you can make an argument that these two are interchangeable, but for me, Omega is third. Like, he's so good. Like, his green card, it could be better. Like, the green card could draw a card, but it does not. But he inflicts you with 3 subcounts. Let me tell you how many times I've killed UVB, fusing Vegito, any other character which is neutral against, because I pop his green, their subcount costs go by 3. I just smash all the blasts I have in my hand and boom, they're dead. He does a lot of damage. Okay, if he has his gauge, he uses a card, he gets permanent double card draw speed which cannot be cancelled. He gets what, 50 key or something. Like, his gauge is very good, which is why I can see why they said, okay, we need a 10 timer count restriction on the gauge. And you can also use a gauge on a defensive measure. Like, there have been so many times the opponent uses the main ability, I know they have the ultimate, I literally switch to Omega, boom, they hit him with the strike or a blast or a green, the ultimates get sealed for 5 timer counts. Icing on the cake. He destroys a Dragon Ball with his main ability. If you lose a battle member, his green card also draws you another ultimate. His ultimate is a supportive buff. 20% special move damage, I think, is to all allies, or like 20% ultimate is to GT or PO. It's something like that, vice versa or something. Yeah, and then comes the best part about him. Indestructible. Like, oh my god, there have been so many matches where his Indestructible have saved me. And it's the perfect counter to Vegito. He is green, Indestructible nullifies his rush. So what happens if you're facing a team, let's say the best team in the game? Vegito, this guy, UG4 Ultimate Gohan. Either the guy wastes his rush or UG4's ultimate because he's always there to tank. Which is why he's at third. Like, honestly, this is one of the better designed units. He's not toxic. Like, yeah, his blue card can be toxic if it inflicts faint, but otherwise it's very good. Like, they balanced it really right. Long animation blue card because it inflicts faint, so it's a high risk, high reward kind of a blue card if you cannot combo into it. His ultimate, obviously, it's very good. Supreme explode damage, I believe. And I don't think I need to tell you about the supportive buffs I already mentioned before. His gauge can be worked both offensively and defensively. And he needs Dragon Balls. He gets like, getting Dragon Balls with this character is very easy. Like, if you use him and him together, Vegito fuses like this. It's so easy to gain Dragon Balls. So yeah, let's move on to the second character, which is the one and only Ultimate Gohan. Honestly, he's so close to being number 1. Like, he's this close to being number 1 for me. Like, If other unit is if let's say the next unit we get a Zenkai or something, which helps him and is metal element, I could see him being number one. If it doesn't help UG4, that is the condition. He has endurance. He's off boot, so he does take a lot of damage. Like he was tanky before, but nowadays I have seen his tankiness fall to the ground. He's more tanky than UG4, but he's not the tankiest unit out in the game. But with his best set, one of the better setups for him, which is Evil Boo, him and Margin, Kid Boo. Oh, it's a brain scratcher. I don't like Legends need to fix their bias with Gohans. Like, what is with this unit? Defensive gauge, which goes to offensive gauge. His green cards restore his vanish 2 times. He gets a blue every single time he gets his gauge filled up, just like Ultra Super Gogeta. If the offensive gauge is there, cool, why not give him a blue? But on top of that, long range blue, which for some reason nullifies endurance without any conditions. Like, why? Why? Because he's Gohan. And the blue card draws a green card. Like, you have to wonder, like, what was they smoking when they made it? Like, he's so toxic. He can win you matches single-handedly. Like, I've faced Gohan players where I was winning 3-1. Their Gohan was the last man standing, and they made it to 1v1 because of how good he is. They throw a blue, I vanish, I attack, they vanish, they have a green, then they have the vanish back, they'll combo me, and then I lose a unit because it does so much damage for some reason. Like, why? Make him a single character, either defensive or offensive. Like, why does he do so much? But okay, whatever. But off boost, yeah, he is not as tanky as before. He still hits hard. But yeah, he's very close to number 1. He's almost reaching there. He's that close to being number 1. And obviously talking about the number 1 unit, the best in the game still for me, he is squishy. Let me first of all clarify that. Off boost, he is squishy. If he was squishy before, he's super squishy. But his gauge is still a pain. There have been so many times where I'm like, his squishiness has actually saved him. I'll use a strike with Baby. I'm like, okay, I can do one more card, then I'll get my ultimate off with any other character. I'll get my rush. But due to him being so squishy, his gauge gets procced, and I'm like, what the? Like, why? Why? His gauge is still toxic. Locks you in for the first 2 time accounts. Destroys your hand. Nullifies. Locks your rush. Locks your main. Last man standing UG4, it's literally like fighting 3 characters, and I've killed them 3 times because his gauge is set in neutral. You destroy your own hand, you get your main ability lock, you get a rush lock, like what the. His green card locks you in, destroys, gets himself 2 new cards instead of 1 because why not? I don't think I need to tell you what UG4 does, but still, you know, his blue card, the best combination of tag pose, like destroys your 2 cards, gets himself 2 cards, gets full vanish back. His blue card and his ultimate hits so hard, and his ultimate is still a 1-hitter quitter. There have been times where I'm like, oh, the opponent has a 14-star unit. I've done a 30-card combo. I don't think I'll kill. But no, UG4 does kill even off boost. Oh, he's so toxic, man. You like the best case scenario is to kill him before he gets his first gauge proc. Because his first gauge nowadays does get procced off boost when his health reaches below 50%, and then he goes defensive neutral. Again, you can kill him, but it does become a little bit more difficult. And talking about 3 of Might Goku against him, if you're a good player, you can work around the 3 of Might thing. Like, there have been so many times where I've fought this character, and honestly, he was first character to die on the opponent's team. He just didn't do much. Like, you have so many other utilities to deal with him, where you do not even need to use a rush with him. He doesn't even have endurance, so that I have rushed him just like that. Boom. Rush, dead. He doesn't do much to counter him, which is why he's still at number 1. Can I see him go down below number 1 before the fest? Like I said, it depends. If a unit comes out who supports Gohan but not him, then yes. But if a unit comes out who supports both of them, or is just a counter to both of them, then we'll see what type of a counter to he is. Because I don't think we're gonna get another yellow premium unit like an LF or an Ultra because of him. So yeah, I do see him being number 1, at least until the fest starts. He's still the best unit in the game. His gauge is still toxic, his green is toxic, his blue is toxic. On cover change, he just gets a blue card 2 times. Toxic, like he is toxicity defined. And now talking about honorable mentions, I'll rearrange them. Let's go with Ray Shenron is, I believe, very close to being 11 or 10. Like I could do this 10, 11. Honestly, I will do this. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'll put Rage here. Like Rage is a very RNG based character, but if his paralysis hits, you're guaranteed to kill the opponent's unit. Like I've won matches where I've literally won matches against you where the opponent has UG4, your fusing Vegito, and Ultimate Gohan, and I only had him with either Omega or Super 17. His paralysis gets proc, the opponent loses 1 unit. Like it's so toxic. He gets paralyzed, and it's so easy to inflict paralysis too. First time an opponent uses a strike or a tackle, they get inflicted with paralysis. Guaranteed. Now then, after that they have a 25% chance to get inflicted with paralysis. Very good. If you use a blue card after again guaranteed to inflict paralysis. Toxic. If you use a blast against him, he restores health, reduces the team sub count by 3. Allows him to switch out quicker to units like Omega Shenron, which helps him tank. He works so well with Super 17 and Omega in a team that it's like chef's kiss. So that is why I will put him at 11. Honestly, he won me matches where I'm honest to God I shouldn't have won because of his stupid paralysis. So yeah, he's at 11, I'll say. Or 10. You can interchange them. Like this or this. Like, he has survived CMZ's combos, which should tell you how good he is for me. Honorable mention wise, I'll put Broly over here. Like, it's sad to see Broly at honorable mentions and not in top 10 for me. He was in top 10 before this guy dropped Tree of Mind Goku. But after him dropping, the problem is he's a very situation based unit. If you have Broly and the opponent has 3 battle members alive, it's very difficult to make full use of Broly. But if the opponent has 1 battle member of theirs has died and you have Broly, he can easily jump up to 7. Because if he is transformed, he will not let the opponent switch out and they can only switch out to 1 character. Dumb. And then he really thrives because he almost will get a guaranteed kill on the other unit, and then he gets his full main ability, unique abilities procced, and he's at his peak damage inflicted. So he's situational. He can jump up to here or he can also be there, which should tell you it's a weird design. Like, he's too squishy even on boost. Like, if you think UG4 is squishy off boost, he is literally like that on boost, which should tell you why. Like, Broly, like if you look at Broly in the movies, he's an offensive powerhouse, but he's also a defensive powerhouse. He'll fight everyone, tank all of the hits. Like, Broly literally ate a blue card from, like, Legends terminology, a Kamehameha from Goku. He literally stood there and we're like, oh wow, that's it. That is who he is. But Dragon Ball Legends never seemed to be able to do him justice. After this, I'll put Ultra Broly. Like, I don't face him very often. Oh no, I don't think I'll put him over here. I'll put Frieza. No. Which unit will I put over here? I think I'll go Supreme Kai. He's annoying. He seals my strikes, blast, green, blues. Honestly, he's annoying. I can see him over here, but I think you can also interchange them too. The movie Celebration is so dead now that I think about it. Like, I said it's the worst Celebration, but now even if I look at the unit choices, this is the only unit who's in my top 10. Neither is Broly. Broly is dependable. He can climb up to here or remain here. This unit is not top 10. 1% sparkings, neither of them are top 10. Supreme Kai is my honorable mentions. He's an annoying unit. He does annoying stuff like if he cover changes against you, destroys your card, locks you in, which can be very good by the way. Oh, this unit is a sad example. Fusing Gogeta. Honestly, I liked him more than Vegito initially, but UG4, he's meant to combo UG4, but it just does not do it well enough. There have been so many times that I've fought this character and he didn't even get the fuse because of. It's just bad luck, isn't it? They really drop the ball. Like, his assault chain has one major flaw. If you're assault chaining against UG4, you have to use strikes. You cannot use a blue, green, or a blast, which is such a dumb mechanic. Blue card should be chainable with the strikes because There have been so many times the opponent could have killed my UG4, but they couldn't because, well, they drew a blue or a green or a blast. Not the best thing. And doing a Soul Chain is also detrimental in one effect that you will be reducing a combo potential just to use a Soul Chain. Honestly, not the best mechanic. Like, I think it's a good mechanic, but I think we'll see a better implementation of it in future characters. Ultra Broly is good enough. I don't see him enough. In the last season, I saw him once or twice. And honestly, he didn't do anything. 14-star Ultra Brolys, they were just fodder. But honestly, I won't even say they helped the team to sustain longer. They just died. They did not do anything. I'll put Frieza over here. Yeah. Over Broly, and I'll put, yeah, I think this is Garlic Jr. should come over here. Perfect. I think this is more honorable mentions. Frieza is very good. His comeback mechanic is still very good. It hits hard. He needs a lot of support.